Okay, so we're going to go through the placement of the ramp entrance, civil cell, and then we'll go through a few edits. Through road edge of pavement, then a ramp start point, similar to the way, I placed a point here to snap to. You don't have to do that. You just data point wherever you want to. And data point there. That geometry doesn't look good, so I'm going to reverse this direction. And that geometry does look good, so I'll reset and accept the civil cell. Okay, so we're going to go in and go through some of these horizontal edits. Just rotate this view and kind of look at this 3D view. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to worry about adding how to add a turn lane cell based on what we added one on this other side for the exit round. I'm not going to worry about it in this example just to speed things up. I am going to go ahead and cut off though the shoulder and the mainline shoulder and the end condition through this cell here. So go to corridors, turn construction class on, corridor objects. We're going to go to parametric constraints. We're going to add, this is going to be an intersection left, and then we'll just come in and just snap right here. We'll come over and just snap to this point right here. And then we'll just move that point to the left 1 foot. And if this was transparent, you can see it a little bit better, but we're just removing that shoulder and that end condition through that area. It's probably going to put a gap right here because we'll need to come back and add a key station, which I don't think I'll take the time to do that in this video. But so we got a clean ramp right in there as far as any overlap from that main line, at least up until this nose point there. All right, so just kind of going through some of the edits here real quick. So if we look at this element here, real similar to the exit ramp, we are entering that a little bit different radius, but offset's 12 feet here, right at a 2,000 foot radius, arc length 500 feet. Obviously, any of that can change. You can make this a two-center curve if you need to do that. So you got some things you can change there. Notice that slope 2%. So, same as the exit ramp. You gotta calculate. You gotta have your super here. You gotta calculate your super for your ramp once that alignment gets done, and then really you gotta look at the slopes right in here. Right. Just really projecting slopes and changing slopes of this element. Other horizontal critical elements here. So basically, after this element here, that's the first element built in the cell. The next element just EOP inside here, which is initially 16 feet off. I'm gonna just leave that like it is. And then off of that, we've got this. You can see what it's named: ramp edge of shoulder paved. It's a nose control. So, and that is initially six feet off of that ramp. And then we've got this element here, which is negative 10 feet off that ramp there. And that's coming off the main line. That represents and it'll tell you here, it should tell you with the name. That's the main line paved shoulder there. So really these two elements there and there are what's really controlling this nose location there. You got that. We've got this. And then really just looking at this, we've got a surface template right here. And if you'll notice, there's an element right here. That's actually this element right there. And you can see that's something you can change its length on. And it's got a grade. It's really meant to add up. If you need a swell here, if you need to move that water off a little quicker right in that area, you've got the ability to open that profile and change that grade. The other only, other than, the edge of pavements here that we're dealing with, the only other, we got a brake line running right through here, right? And it's actually this element. And it's not here. And I actually think it's on a construction class. So we'll cut these back on. So this element right there, that DNC brake line. And that's profile, looks like 2% off. I guess I'm assuming positive 2% off of this. I may change that to negative 2% off of that. It's probably what it would be better served to be, but and you can change that. I may leave it in the cell like this, but it probably needs to change to, in the end, you're going to project slopes off of this to set that grade. All right. As far as horizontal and vertical, that's pretty much it with this cell, other than these shoulder areas right in here. Now, if we'll look just real quickly at this template, this mainline roadway we've got placed here, if we'll just look, we double click this point here. We've got a 6.5 foot shoulder, paved shoulder, and then we got a 3.5 unpaved shoulder there. All right, so we've got to make, all right, so that instead of being 10 feet, that should be negative 6.5. And this is going to move that nose, right? So if you look at your 3D view, you'll see that nose move. Okay. And then we've got, and I've already mentioned that element, right? So you've got to line that up with your paved shoulder width, which I just did there. And then we actually had 3.5 on this element right there. So we've got to line that up. And that element, looking at its name, that's your main line edge of shoulder unpaved. Right, so that was 3.5 feet. And then we also have a, right there, we've got an edge of shoulder unpaved. Alright, so that has to line up with your unpaved shoulder for your ramp. But where we're not lining up is this one, so I'm going to change that to negative 3.5. Which that's going to move that transition a little bit further back there. And then basically this element right here, that's really just a line between that point there and this point over here. Okay, so that element, so your unpaved shoulders are intersecting right here basically. And we've drawn a line from that intersection to where the paved shoulders intersect. That line's part of that cell. And we've also added a point control that targets, that basically makes that unpaved shoulder here, for the ramp anyway, follow that purple line. And this red line you're seeing here is your unpaved shoulder off your main line. And you really want to get it to follow that purple line there. So that's kind of what we're going to do next. Now before we do that, we're going to scoot out and we're going to open up a cross-section view. Alright, I'm going to change this exaggeration to like 5. And then I'm going to come in and locate station via data point. And then we're going to come in this area right in here. Okay. So you can see this area we're talking about here. And quite honestly, I'm fixing to add a point control to make that point follow that point. Alright, but I'm going to look at the template and I'm going to see really what I'm wanting to happen when I do this. I want this slope of this pavement to stay on this same slope here. So if I move that up here, depending on how this template's set up, that point may not shift, but I do want it to shift. I want to get it up here on the correct slope. So I'm going to take a look at this template, and I actually believe I'm probably going to have to edit this from what I remember on this. So just looking at this point, this is your mainline roadway here. You can see everything's off the left edge of pavement, 6%. And then if I look at this point here, everything's off at this point, 6%. So basically what I'm saying, if I come in and I test all, so if I move that point, nothing's happening to this one. And I want, quite honestly, I want that to be a vector offset or on the same slope as this. So really what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to just double click this. And I'm going to actually change that to there, that to there. And that says asphalt shoulder width. That's fine. I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to come over and choose this horizontal off that sign. But I want the slope to be equals to that, to that. Okay, apply and close now. So when I move this now, alright, so that paved shoulder is always staying on the same slope. That's an edit. Just had to make on this template there. Whether you wanted that done all the way through, I'm not sure. You know, you may need to have just a part of a template there. Quite honestly, I think that's probably how I have it set up to work anyway. Okay, and then really all I've got to do now is, it's still a little more clean up here, but we're getting closer. But I'm gonna come in and go in and select this, and go to point control, and I want to go to add new, and I'm gonna choose LEOS, and then the corridor, and maybe it's geometry. I'm going to choose this. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing that linear right there. I'm going to set this up, but I think I can actually choose it after I place it though. But the same point here, LEOS. Alright, and then I'm going to go from, it really doesn't matter, right up in here because there is no shoulder there, but from, we'll do exactly 2. It really don't matter. Okay. So from there to basically right there. And I'm going to just go through all these prompts. Okay, and I hadn't got the right corridor chosen there, but I couldn't pick it for whatever reason. And the product may have let me just choose that corridor, but I think after I add it, I can actually go choose it then. So if I go look, looking at the cross-section view, nothing's changed. So I just want to go down here and look and see EntranceRamp EOP1 is what I'm shooting for. And like I said, I'm not sure why I couldn't pick that while ago, but I think now I can. So I can go in here and choose that. And then I can come in here with this reference feature here and set that to L. underbar EOS there, and then that shoulder should pop up there. Right, so now that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to incandescent exception. I'll come in here and add main line underbar door, and then backbone only left looks good. And then we're gonna go from the snap to right there for the start, there for the end, and then we should get rid of this ink condition right here. And let's just back up the station. We did, so that looks good. And I really don't think, quite honestly, I would possibly target that with that. But I really think what I'm gonna do, just to kind of be through with this area here, is I'm gonna just come in here and grab this template, and I'm gonna actually push it back, and I'm really just gonna come here and go through that gore area right there. Like that. And I really think we're done. Like I said, the only thing we're kind of missing there is we need to add a secondary or a key station right here to bring that pavement on up to here. But other than that, then I say we're done. There's still a little bit more work to do. So, what I would do next is come back in. I'm probably going to do this alignment, get through with this alignment here next, and go on and set that grade. And then I come back in and add another corridor along that new alignment there from that point going forward. And it, quite honestly, from there, about the only heavy work left is really your target aliasing and then your clipping there, and which we kind of already been through that on this other side. So I kind of think that's pretty much going to be it with this entrance ramp, which took a little more time than I kind of hoped, and it's not that bad a sale. Probably not as this one's got a lot of elements in it, a lot of templates and stuff like that. So this entrance a little bit cleaner. So, all right, so that's an overview of the your ramp entrance there.